We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. It's 5 o'clock. So we'll start with open public forum if anyone has anything. Yes.
Hi, I'm Jenny Brock-Poller with the Ames Community Arts Council, and we have two public events coming up really fast that I wanted to mention at today's meeting. We have World Collage Day this Saturday, May 10th, at the Ames Public Library. The Arts Council is co-sponsoring with a few of our artists a collage making event from 10 to 3. It's free, and these are folks that have more collage materials than you've ever seen in your life. So even if you just want to pop by and see how much stuff they have, it's totally worth it. They'll do a small talk at the beginning, and then you're free to create for the rest of the day. So I wanted to bring that to people's attention if they're looking for something to do on Saturday. And then we have our annual Arts Awards celebration on Sunday, May 18th. We are honoring 9 people/organizations at that event. And I get the impression that people feel like if they're not personally invited, that they're not invited, and that's totally not true. This is a great celebration of spring and all the cool people doing cool things for the arts in Ames. And so it's open to the public, and we'd love to see anyone who can make it. We'll be at Ryman Gardens at 1:30, and we're always out by about 3, and it's just a really good time. So we hope to see people around. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Anyone else have anything?
I'm Bill Dilla with Ames Town and Gown. We have violinist Kevin Zhu coming to Ames for an outreach and a concert. And Kevin appeared with the Des Moines Symphony a couple of years ago. I personally got to hear him, and so we're looking forward to having him with us for a whole evening of music. The outreach is done jointly with Friends of Ames Strings. That will take place at 6 p.m. on Friday, May the 9th, from 6 to 7 p.m. at Northcrest. It is targeted for, I guess, first grade through high school violin students, but it is open to the public. So you don't have to be a Northcrest resident. You don't have to be a school-age violin student. Should be a very interesting evening. So that event is free of charge and open to the public. The concert is at Martha Ellen Tye Recital Hall on the Iowa State campus, 7:30 Saturday evening, May the 10th. Tickets for that are $35. They are available at our website. And both K through 12 and university students are free. If you're a student, all you have to do is just show up at the door and we'll give you a comp ticket. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we'll move forward with approval of the April 7th meetings. Did anyone have a chance to look over those? Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Anyone?
I'll second.
Second? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And now we'll move on to the real reason we're all here, our fall 2025 special projects grant hearing. So I will just go ahead and start in the order that we have you guys listed. And our first to share, if they would like, is our Town and Gown.
So our special project grant proposal is for an event with the Beijing Guitar Duo. It's going to be our opening concert, September 26th, 2025. The name perhaps is a little bit misleading. The two members actually aren't from Beijing. They're from elsewhere in China. They studied out in the provinces, went for more advanced study in Beijing, and then even more advanced study in the United States, and stayed here. So they are now in the United States, based in the Bay Area. Very interesting duo. They have won multiple international competitions. They have interesting repertoire, not just the standard classical guitar repertoire, but also arrangements of Chinese works. We're still working on the details of the outreach. It will either be something for the general public, either at Ames Public Library or maybe at First United Methodist Church. But the issue we have is, as often happens with busy concert artists, is we don't know their schedule. As much as we'd like to have a general public outreach, because we haven't had one in a while, if that doesn't work, we'll do probably a middle school or a high school level outreaches. And those, of course, have been very successful for us. The reason we're coming for a special project grant is that when we put together our budget, the number we had from the agent we assumed was both for their concert and the outreach. But when we got to the contracting process, which of course happens long after the operating grant process, we discovered that they were asking for an additional $1,000. So we're proposing that we're asking for a grant to cover half of that. We're also asking the Iowa Classical Guitar Society for a small donation, and then the rest would be covered from our operating funds. And again, I want to thank CODA for this. I network with classical music presenters from across the country, and there are very few cities that provide the arts this level of support. So again, want to thank you for your time processing this grant, and appreciate the city's support.
Does anyone have
Oh,
questions?
Sorry.
Everything's here? Okay.
Okay.
Did you have something? No?
It's okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Next up, we'll call Story Theater Company.
Hi, thank you for letting us come. Story Theater Company is a local nonprofit that encourages children to get invested in theater and the arts. We do various workshops and throughout the year, and during the summer have a huge lineup. And then we do 4 major stage shows throughout the year as well, targeting kids anywhere from elementary school through high school. Next up is the last couple weekends in December. We'll be here with the Disney's Descendants, which will be a really powerful show, lots of energy and music and stuff coming up too. We are looking at this grant, an extension of the annual grant. We're falling a little bit short in, like the cost of everything nowadays. The fall production of Once Upon a Mattress we'll need kind of more extensive costuming and some set design and stuff like that, and lumber and cloth and stuff like that has all gone up a little bit more in price than what we had anticipated when we put the original ask in. So we're asking for a little bit more to help cover. It is everyone in the cast will be part of a court, and which means lots of elaborate costumes and a little bit bigger set. Once Upon a Mattress also has a very large, it's the retelling of the Princess and the Pea fairy tale. So the key element of it is a very large bed at the end, a little bit extra platforming and set design and stuff that goes into that. So that would help offset some of those extra costs that we are accruing in that.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions?
I will just say that the Descendants that we're working on now is at the end of June, not December.
Did I say December?
Just said December.
Oh.
It's the last 2
June.
weekends in June.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks.
And then last we have Ames Community Arts Council.
Hi, again, I'm with Jen Brockpeller with the Ames Community Arts Council. Thank you so much for considering our grant application. And I'm here today to ask for support for our Empty Bowls project. If you're familiar with Empty Bowls, it's a nationally known event where artists come together, create bowls, and then host a soup supper. And the income from that event always benefits always serves food insecurity in your town. So last year, well, this is our second one. So this was indeed in our operational grant. The difference this time is I've been asked by the board's been asking if we can support more than one organization. So last year we did just Backpack Buddies of Gilbert. This time we want to bring it back into Ames and continue to support Gilbert, kind of show that whole larger community draw. And that, of course, means we need more bowls. So therefore, we've been tasked with hosting bowl making workshops. And since we're asking people to create bowls and then not take home the product, we want to be able to make sure that all the expenses are covered so no one feels like so they don't have to buy the clay and do the work and do the thing. So we're asking for support to host our bowl making projects. I guess that's the long and the short of it. And again, so we can increase the impact of the event overall.
Anyone have any additional questions?
You mentioned additional bowls. How many more bowls are you making this year than last year?
I don't know. We made 150 bowls last year. We did not use them all. We probably have about 30 or 40 left. And so our goal this year is again to make 150 new bowls. And then also because we'll be working with artists in those workshops, because the workshops will be geared towards those who can throw a bowl without any instruction. We're not looking to teach at this point, which is kind of hard for me because that's sort of at our core. But this time we're asking folks who know what they're doing to throw them. So I'm hoping that in addition to the bowls that they throw at the event, they will also donate once they feel a little more connected. So we are limited, our ticket sales are only limited by the number of bowls we have because we'll be in a large venue and with turnover, we could host as many people as we have bowls. So we will continue to sell tickets until the bowls run out. So I would love to see 200 after all that.
Right.
But the more the merrier.
Any additional questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all for sharing that information. I always love hearing extra tidbits from you guys about what your projects are. Next up are upcoming important dates, which is our next meeting, June 2nd. So I know Jeremy and you are very good at sending us the information to review.
Yeah, so we will, Jeremy will send you a spreadsheet tomorrow, I'd anticipate. If not, then later this week, that you can use to fill in your individual recommendations for these 3 grant requests. CODA has $9,562 available for these grants and for any that might come in for spring of 2026. So you'll need to reserve some. Well,
There will be some.
There will be some certainly, but whatever you do not allocate towards these particular grants will be reserved for the spring of 26 grants, if there are any. So we will ask you to make your recommendations individually and then send them back to Jeremy, and then Jeremy will compile them for you to look at your June meeting, and then you'll make your final recommendations based on that shared list of recommendations.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you. Is there any last comments anybody wants to make before we adjourn? Well, not the shortest meeting ever, but still sweet and short. So we will go ahead and adjourn. Thank you.